This is going to be the real glow up guide. This summer glow up guide is not about aesthetics. We're not talking about bikinis or becoming that girl on social media. This is the glow up guide for the girls who feel stuck, mentally drained, still feel like they are in survival mode this far into the year, and they know that deep down it is time to become a different version of yourself and become that girl, or whatever you want to call it. But if you feel like you have to keep continuing to restart your routine, you eat healthy for 3 days, or you go to the gym for 3 days, and then you completely fall off and you find yourself just constantly in a cycle of not being able to actually keep up with the habits that you need to get to where you want to be, this is a video for you. Scrolling past everyone's Instagram thinking, when is it going to be me? When am I going to be able to be consistent? I see you. I am you. I have been there before, feeling like you're just so stuck. I am 23 and I pretty much spent the last year learning how to actually glow up from the inside and using self-discipline, and not just doing it for an aesthetic or because that's what's trending now, but genuinely getting to a place where you feel differently and you feel good about yourself, about where you are and how much progress you've made. So take it from me when I tell you that you will end up sticking with it. And glowing up from the inside has a lot to do with discipline, healing yourself, and habits, and a mindset that does not always quit on you. And you can hack your mind and train your brain to work for you and not against you. In this video, I'm giving you the real summer glow up guide that no one is really talking about, because we're not just trying to look good. We are actually trying to live a better life and feel better about ourselves. So starting off with the first section of this video, which is a mental glow up, your mentality is going to be the one thing that sticks with you and the one thing that can really make a difference. There's no way that you can change your body, change your life, start making more money if your thoughts are not aligned with that version of yourself and your thoughts are being used to drag you down. And for me, that means that you cannot continue to think like the version of you that is constantly quitting on yourself. You have to start thinking different thoughts, and you have to be very intentional about what you are thinking about throughout the day and really watch your thoughts. I remember when I read the book called, it's by Eckhart Tolle, and that's when I really started to paying attention to the thoughts that I was thinking. And it's such a weird experience when you are paying attention to your thoughts and you realize how many things you think about throughout the day and how much of them are negative and honestly nonsense. I do challenge you, if you're watching this video, throughout the day, just ask yourself, I wonder what my next thought will be. And continually and consciously is very hard to do, but if you practice it at least for 7 days, you'll get a better idea of what I'm saying when I say that. For one, half of the thoughts that you think today, you thought yesterday. And the majority of those are negative. They're working against you. They're self-sabotaging you, and you don't even realize it. And when you actually take a step back, and you used to call it like a watcher of your thoughts, you do realize what you're actually thinking about, and you can actually make an effort to start thinking better things. And then just with the things that you consume, listening to people, listening to positive mindset videos and podcasts and shows and songs, and the things that you consume will start to change how you speak. And ultimately, the things that you say come from what you're thinking. So you really do have to be very selective. And the way that you do that is by first and from the beginning, being intentional about watching the things that you're thinking and jotting down things that you're thinking about. And it's really weird. And that's one of the things that meditation kind of teaches you, when you have to sit with yourself and actually be in your head. Why the hell am I thinking about this? Where did this even come from? But if you haven't read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, it is really good, especially when it goes into just being present and focusing on your mindset and being able to realize that you are not your thoughts. You're not attached to them. It's not you. It's literally just a thing, and you can choose a better thought. Whenever a negative thought comes into my mind, I literally just switch it around, and I don't even accept that for what I'm thinking. No, that's not true. I know that that's not true. What's really true is this. And you just switch that flip. And I think that if you start with a mindset, you make it so much easier to actually glow up. Stop choosing self-sabotaging beliefs and thoughts that are only gonna keep putting you in the loop of you quitting on yourself. If you keep telling yourself that you just quit everything that you start, that's exactly what it's gonna be. Like, we are our own limitation, and we put limits on what we can and can't do. So start with your mindset. If you're really into self-help and discipline and mindset and motivation and just bettering yourself and leveling up and becoming a better version of yourself, I'm pretty sure that you've heard of journaling. And I think that everybody mentions that you should be journaling. You should be journaling your thoughts. But to me, just journaling your thoughts and what you think can be kind of draining if you are having so many negative thoughts. And even just looking back at some of my journals, I'm so grateful that I decided to consistently journal, and it's so helpful and it's so beneficial in just keeping you on the right track, especially when you do it correctly and you use it to your advantage. My biggest tip to anybody who don't know what to journal or where should you start, I would say journaling about parts of your day and how you would like your day to look, because ultimately if you're trying to glow up, you want to get to a space where you feel better about your life. And it's like, what needs to happen for you to feel better? How do you want to feel? How does this different version of you feel? What is it? And get very specific. So one thing that I still do now when I'm journaling is journaling about my perfect day, my perfect morning, how I spend my days. In a perfect world, what am I working towards and how does that look? So whatever it is that I'm working towards right now and where I'm trying to be, that is what I journal about, and it puts you in a feeling of you already have it and you don't feel so detached from whatever you want. So whatever your goals is for summer, or however you're trying to glow up, whatever it looks like to you, if you don't know what it is, journaling can really help with that. What is the ideal version of me? What does my perfect day look like? Like if you were in a world where you had one wish, or you could spend the day doing whatever you want, how would that look? If you had all the money in the world, or even if you didn't have all the money in the world, but if you could just spend one day doing whatever it is that you wanted to do, how would that look? If you didn't have to be confined by a job, if you didn't have to go to school, if you didn't have to do the things that you're forced to do now because you don't have options, you don't have choices, how would your day look? Like, how would you feel throughout the day? How would you wake up? How would you spend your mornings? Who would you call? What would you wear? What gym would you go to? How would you spend your time in the gym? What hobbies would you have? And journal about that. And this is my favorite kind of journaling exercise, because it allows you to see that it's not that far off when you actually get into it. And sometimes you even realize, like, damn, this is not as different than what I'm doing now. And that's the best part about it. And it's also a really good manifestation technique to journal about your goals and how it feels to actually have your goals, and it puts you in that state of I already have it, and you don't even feel like you have to go out there and put in all this work to get it. So I start journaling every morning, and if I can't do it in the morning, sometimes I'll do it when I get to work if I have extra time and I'm sitting in my car. But I really like to make it a priority to journal at least once a day, and just asking, who is the highest version of me? What would she do today? What would she think? Who would she interact with? Where would she eat at? The little questions change everything and can just shift your mindset and your perspective on life in general. And because you see yourself as already heard when you are journaling, your choices will start to change throughout the day. You will notice the little small choices that you're making that you didn't used to make before. You start to move differently. You start to eat different foods. If you have specific goals of getting fit in the gym, you'll notice yourself start to choose different foods. If you just finished journaling about this girl who has this healthy fit body, who went to the gym, who drank her water, who ate this for breakfast, your brain will start to work for you in helping you choose better choices, if that makes sense. You eat, you rest, and you show up like you deserve more out of life, because you do, and that's exactly what this is about. This summer glow up is not about looking perfect. It's about thinking like the woman who loves herself deeply and wholly and fully and does not need any kind of validation from nobody. Even on the days that you're not 100% deep down, you have a knowing that right now I don't feel good, but for a fact, you're still that girl, even if you don't feel good today. Section 2 of this video is on self-discipline in your daily routine. Let's talk about routine, because routine is so key when it comes to trying to make any kind of change, but not in this hustle hard, go hard every day, grind it out way. I started creating a self-discipline lifestyle, and that means that you're showing up for yourself without punishing yourself, especially with that negative mental talk. We're not going to continue to punish ourselves for the things that we don't do. When you make your commitment, showing up for yourself. And sometimes you have days where you may fall short. You're not saying off the whole thing. I think when people get into this whole thing of like negative self-talk, when you maybe don't make it to the gym to a day or two, that's what keeps you out of the gym for weeks, and now you find yourself trying to get back on track. Look at how you talk to yourself, literally. Every day you need to commit to 3 things that are non-negotiable. These things have to happen. They're not like, oh, maybe I'll get it done today. These are your 3 non-negotiables. This is how you show up for yourself and continue to prove to yourself that you do love yourself. You're not going to get anywhere if you can't keep the promises to yourself, because if you continue to do that, it's just like a child. If you continue to tell a child, I'm going to take you here on the weekend, and you never do it, they are not going to trust a word that you say. That's the same with yourself. If you keep telling yourself, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go for a walk, and you never do it, all you're doing is breaking that self-trust. Moving my body is a non-negotiable. Hydrating my body is a non-negotiable. And doing something for my mental health is a non-negotiable. Simple. Whether it's journaling, meditating, or listening to a podcast. That's very simple. When it comes to moving my body, a 30-minute walk or 30 minutes in the gym. Simple. Like, it does not have to be hard. We make things harder than it has to be. And this is not about doing everything perfectly and getting 100% every day, because we are human and you're not going to get 100% every day. There's going to be days where you're cramping super bad, you're bleeding very bad, and it's just like, you know what, I can only do 20 minutes today, or I can only do a 10-minute walk today, and that's fine as long as you keep showing up for yourself in a way that feels good to you. This is about showing your mind that you do follow through, and you're a person who, when you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. You start to feel so much more safe with yourself. You start to build your confidence so much faster than any kind of external glow up ever could. When you are a person who keeps your word, your confidence skyrockets. Listen to me when I say this. Your confidence is going to be out of this world, and it's going to go into every other area of your life. Not just the gym or eating or whatever it is, because the real glow up is not about the mirror. It's about how much you trust yourself and how confident you are, and trusting that you can keep your word and you can do what you say you're gonna do. Section 3, which is one of my favorite sections, because it's one thing that, as a girl who loves food, I have to consistently keep myself in check when it comes to what I put in my body. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not talking about diet culture and the pressure to go into summer body, but actually healing your relationship with food and how you view food, and not viewing it as a reward to every single thing or a punishment to every single thing. The moment that you stop using food as an escape and you start using it to actually nourish your body and choose foods that are not going to have you sluggish and not going to have you having brain fog, things will start to change. Your energy will start to change, your mood, your skin, and just how you show up for yourself throughout the day. There is a very big difference between when you wake up and you have fruits and protein and fiber, and then you wake up and you have just sugar and carbs. Believe me when I say this, you will feel it throughout the day. Your body is going to feel it, and you're going to suffer because of it. And that's just the reality of it. And I'm not saying that you have to eat 100% clean diet, but when you are on a path to something else and you're trying to get somewhere, you do have to have a reality check for yourself and say, is this benefiting the person that I'm trying to become? And if not, choose a healthier option. And for me, that's very hard, because I love food, but I know damn well if I have pancakes for breakfast with a bunch of syrup, by 12:30 I am out. I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to do anything else. All I want to do is sleep, versus when I have eggs and bacon and some fruit. I just feel better. You feel so good when you choose good foods, I promise you. And gut health is very much real. Water is so underrated, and just cooking your own meals at home is very underrated. Even if it's a simple chicken and broccoli, you're still showing yourself self-love, and that is still discipline. So when you are battling between, I want to eat out or do I want to eat at home, ask yourself, how would she eat? And she being that version of yourself that you're trying to become, and not restricting yourself, not binging yourself, but just nourishing your body and your mind. That is how you glow up from the inside out. Section 4, we are getting into a lifestyle reset. And girl, we cannot glow up if we're surrounded by habits and people who are dimming our light and making us feel like we have to be put in this box. I was just having a conversation with a friend, and it's so tough when you're trying to change and you're trying to do better, but it feels like you have to restrict who you are to make other people feel comfortable, and I hate that. I hate that for myself, and I think a lot of women feel like that, especially in the workplace or wherever you are. You consistently feel like, damn, I'm not gonna get dressed up, I'm not gonna do my makeup, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna come to school with, I'm not gonna come to work with my meal prep and my Stanley, and because it makes other people feel like, damn, what are you doing all that for? And you little comments that people make and what I'm talking about, and you might not notice it, but slowly and surely it causes you to hold back and hide certain parts of you. And it bothers me so much. But I think that you have to do a lifestyle audit and unfollow people and get away from people who make you feel like you are unable to be on this path of becoming a better version of you, because it makes them feel stuck and uncomfortable. Because believe it or not, we all get the same amount of time. And because you're choosing to do something different with your time, and you're no longer gossiping with certain people, you're no longer going out to eat unhealthy lunches on your lunchtime with people, they start to feel uncomfortable, and as a result they try to make you feel uncomfortable. And it's like, oh no, baby, we not doing that. Get away from them and block, literally tune them out. Do not let other people's limitations that they have for themselves be put on you. That's one thing that I'm a very observant of, and I really do notice, is like, just because you feel like you can't do it, that does not have anything to do with me and the path that I'm on. So if you want to glow up, audit your environment, audit the people that you're hanging around, and protect your energy and your mind at all costs. Set boundaries, and that's not being selfish. It's literally a way of surviving. And when I say set your boundaries, as women, a lot of us need to set boundaries, and do not fold on your boundaries. Stand on them. Whatever you say, if it's certain stuff that you're not going for, you just not going for it, and that's just what it is. And there's a lot of other people that are going for some of the things that you're not, and that's fine. Let those people go hang around them. And this comes for friends, family, whoever it is. If you have a boundary and this is something that you just are not going to do, and somebody is trying to convince you to shift your boundaries or take them down because they don't want to change, let they ass go. And that's one of the biggest things that I have learned. When you're trying to go somewhere and you have a boundary and other people cannot respect it, those people just cannot be with you in this season of life, and that is fine. And that don't mean you hate them, and that don't mean that you wish ill towards them. That just means that right now you cannot respect the person I'm trying to become, therefore you got to go, period. And when you do that, you literally start making space for the version of you that's been buried under all of the noise that other people have created, and you make space for better people and people that are more aligned with you and what you're trying to do to come on that path. And that's probably been one of the biggest shifts for me, is that when you have a boundary and you stand on it, people are going to naturally just drop off, and then God is going to bring in more people who are better aligned for you while you're on your journey. And it happens so naturally, and you don't realize it until you take a look back on past experiences and things that have happened and people that are in your life now. I hope that you guys really got what you needed from this video to truly glow up this summer. This is your reminder that the real glow up is quiet, is deep, and is personal, and it's a journey that is personal to you. You do not have to announce it. You don't have to post about it. You don't need anybody's approval. You don't need the internet's approval, your family, your mama. You don't need nobody's approval to start trying to change your life. You just do it. You keep becoming her. You keep showing up for yourself, the woman that you've always known that you're meant to be, or the person. I always say women because I have such a soft spot for women, but I'm pretty sure there's men that watch my channel, and I'm not excluding you, I promise. But if this video spoke to you, please drop a comment that is saying that you are choosing yourself this summer. I want to see who's really going to go on the journey. I think summer is used a lot of the times to slack off because we're going on trips and camping and spending time with family. But don't let that be you, because just think about it. It's May already. Half of the year is almost gone. If you haven't already locked in, lock the fuck in, seriously.